CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Those cougars that have been on the prowl in central Saanich may be moving closer to town. There were several sightings reported in Saanich overnight. The first was spotted at about 8 o'clock in the 4700 block of Mountain Road. That's in the interurban area. And then at around midnight, somebody reported seeing a big cat in the Gorge and Tillicum area near Gorge Park. The third suspected cougar sighting came at 2:30 this morning in the 4400 block of Markham Road, also in the interurban area. That was just a few blocks from the first sighting. Police responded to all of the reports, but the trail had gone cold and they couldn't locate the cougars. The mother of a Victoria girl suffering from a rare form of cancer says she has filed a complaint with the Vancouver Island Health Authority over her daughter's care leading up to the diagnosis. For several weeks this past summer, 3-year-old Hannah Day was in and out of walk-in clinics and the emergency room seeing different doctors as her mother tried to find out why her daughter's abdomen was protruding so strangely. She says doctor after doctor gave her a different reason, but none of them diagnosed the cancer that was later discovered in Hannah. The little girl has a 15-centimeter mass in her abdomen and is now undergoing treatment at BC Children's Hospital. VIHA is legally required to respond to complaints and has said that if a complaint was made about Hannah's care, it would review the file and would potentially meet with the doctors who failed to diagnose her. Of course, the Labor Day weekend is one of the busiest on the calendar for BC Ferries, and keep that in mind if you're traveling. Ferries says this year may be even busier than usual because the sunny weather is back and because Labor Day is falling a little earlier than it does sometimes on the calendar. Extra sailings have been added to cope with the expected crush of travelers.
We find with Labor Day long weekend, traffic comes back Sunday as well as Monday. Some folks want to head home a little bit earlier so they'll have one day at home to get the kids ready for school on Tuesday.
As always, BC Ferries says your best bet is to plan ahead and to make a reservation if you can, to check online for sailing weights and to get updates before you head to the terminals. If you'd like more information, visit bcferries.com. Well, there's a chaplain in downtown Victoria who is trying to put a modern spin on religion by bringing the church to the people. You'll see him there every Friday morning. Father Henderson sets up his sandwich board and his chairs outside the Catholic Church on Blanchard Street. The idea is to bring religion to people who might not otherwise go looking for it. The chaplain invites any conversation, from academic questions on religion to discussions on the direction of life.
Sometimes there's a great reticence and fear that the church is unapproachable. And people will have actually come up to me and said, I finally found you with time on your hands, your chair is empty, I can sit down, and I've been watching you for the last year, waiting for that opportunity or trying to muster the courage to come and sit down and talk to a priest.
It's not the usual pew, and it doesn't stay empty long. Father Henderson is outside the church every Friday morning, and he says he has open ears for anyone who wants to sit down and have a talk. Victoria Police have awarded a former Saanich cop with the department's first ever Civic Service Award. 58-year-old Michael Drescher retired nearly a decade ago, but he still remembers his 27 years of police training. Drescher was walking in the 1100 block of Cook Street yesterday when he spotted a woman running. In front of her was a purse snatcher, and that's when he says his police instincts took over.
He was coming towards me, and I knew there was only one or two ways that he could go, and I managed to push him into a sandwich board sign that was there, and then brought him, let's just say I brought him to ground. It was just in the right time at the right place, and I would hope that anybody capable of doing something similar would actually do that. You know, if it were my loved one, I'd want somebody to help them too. So.
This Civic Service Award, this new award, recognizes private citizens and members of the police department who demonstrate outstanding service to their community. Well, you don't have to be a sailing buff to appreciate what's going on in Victoria's Inner Harbour this weekend. It is already a feast for the eyes as hundreds of restored classic boats are getting set for Victoria's 35th annual Classic Boat Festival. And it kicked off on the water this afternoon with a contingent of restored sail and power boats making their way to the docks. Each year, the event attracts sailors and their classics from all over the world. Seattle native Greg Gilbert and his Lake Union dreamboat Winifred have been coming since 2000. Gilbert says of all classic boats shows that he attends, nothing beats Victoria's.
This is the best show as far as I'm concerned, right in front of the Empress, a beautiful marina, and all the wonderful people that come by and admire the boat. I wouldn't miss this for the world. I look forward to this every year.
Tomorrow morning, the rowers are going to battle it out on the gorge in the Classic Rowing Regatta. After that, it's the Steamboat Parade, and on Sunday, the Sail Past and Salute. If you'd like to find out more, you can go to classicboatfestival.ca. There's a fundraising effort in Nanaimo that has left 4 men a little lighter tonight.
I don't think there's anything pretty much.
Yeah, you guessed it, a little lighter and a little thinner on top. The men work at the Southgate Coastal Community Credit Union. The credit union recently set out a challenge to all of its branches to raise $3,000 in 11 days to help the Nanaimo Ladysmith Schools Foundation's Stock the Lockers initiative.
So what had happened is a couple of weeks ago we had got together, 3 or 4 of us as a staff, and tried to come up with some ideas of how to raise funds. And somebody said, well, how about getting all the guys at the Southgate branch to shave their heads?
4 men signed up, and today the Clippers came out and started buzzing. The Southgate branch has raised nearly $4,000, and the money will go towards helping vulnerable kids get school supplies for the start of the school year.
You've got to admit, it's pretty impressive spirit that these gentlemen stepped up to the plate, and including their manager, to donate themselves, as it were, to sacrifice themselves to raise money for our kids. So we're very proud of them, and we're very proud of the credit union for the efforts they've put in here today.
The foundation is hoping to raise $50,000 for the Stock the Lockers campaign this year. It'll wrap up with a barbecue from 11 until 2. That's outside our CTV News studios in Nanaimo next Thursday in Diana Krall Plaza.